Happy Monday, team.
Hello.
Happy Monday.
Hello. Happy Monday.
Welcome to LEC Live, LEC Community. Thanks for being with us. You know that means it's Monday. My name is Susana Lizarraras. I am the Deputy Director of the Latinx Education Collaborative, working to increase Latinx representation in K-12 classrooms. How are y'all?
I almost want. Do you memorize? Is that memorized? I've been trying to like say all of that. It's too much. It's like, oh, good morning.
It is a lot. You know, teachers, we're good at that, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you memorize your lesson plan. You're like, oh, I'm going to say this joke right here, you know, and like embarrass myself. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Lexi Rios. Oh, were you telling us? I'm Lexi Rios, Operations Specialist for the LEC.
And I'm Ivan Ramirez, your Digital Experience Director.
I'm Delia Perez Solorzano, the Director of High Impact Practice. And I do have one question. Did y'all watch that football game yesterday? Okay.
Delia wants to trigger me today. And like,
there was a game?
Yeah. And it wasn't the Super Bowl.
There was baseball. Baseball was yesterday.
I did not. My intention was to not trigger you. It was actually to just have some fun with it. My favorite post today has been a whole stream of like thoughts about how it was a conspiracy theory and that politics is embedded within football now. So anyway.
Interesting.
It is what it is. We lost it fair and square.
It's a good season though.
It was a great season. Definitely.
Really
go
cool.
KC.
Now it's on to being nervous for a whole nother year. Like I can't wait.
Next year.
KC Royals. We still got the Royals coming up, so
yes, we do. Sorry. All right. Well, to get us started, Denia joined me for our first ever kind of co-moderating and Ask an Educator interview with Maralise Salgado. She's a former educator and liberatory coach. If you missed it, you missed out. What did y'all think about Mara's interview?
It was so nice. I was watching live, and I mentioned earlier this week, I was in there laughing and like I said a couple of things and I was like, oh, it's not a Zoom call. Like I'm like watching. So it was so nice. Like I feel like she had such a like flow to her story and it was relatable in so many aspects. So it was really great.
I love that she had a following, like her family was there supporting her, former students. Everybody was there for her.
Hyping in the comments. That was beautiful.
It was a great conversation and really listening to her story, like Lexi said, and how she made it flow and how she organized it. She made a joke about how, okay, I got 5 TED Talks here. And sure enough, man, it was one of those TED Talks that you listen in, and because we can connect so deeply and resonate with a lot of what she shared, especially like calling in our ancestors. Like how often do we forget to recognize and center those that set up the conditions for us to walk in our power, right? Like just take that moment to arrive. And for me, it was a reminder of like naming what comes up for you, what's showing up for you. And she kind of pointed to her belly. Remember when she burnt that incense? She's like, I just want to arrive and just call this thing right here. And she was talking about, and my interpretation was like her nerves but also a reminder to remain vulnerable and brave. And she was able to be those two things here with the LEC, because we set up those conditions for our Latinx educators. So kudos to the LEC team.
You know what? One of the things I got from her interview was like how you see someone who's just so inspiring. Like they just seem like they got it together, right? Like all the knowledge, all the power, all the everything, and for her to be vulnerable to say like, no, like I don't have it all together. I am walking through it. Even when I was a teacher, she was a teacher for almost 20 years, right? Like even then I was not so like not saying that, you know, it just is like humbling for me, who just, you know, you got so many goals and so many things you want to do, and hearing that from her was really nice. So shout out Mara. She's amazing people. If you missed it, head over to our social medias. You'll get to watch that interview. Last week we were out and about and lots going on as always. HDF Scholarship is closing today, right, Ivan?
Today at midnight, yeah.
Today at midnight, y'all. So if you haven't filled out your Hispanic Development Fund scholarship, head over there. Delia, shout out to Delia, who moderated and facilitated her first workshop of the year. Let's jump into that. How was that with Luis Ortega? I was there. It was amazing. So how was that?
It was great. I love the concept of coming back to your purpose, and because I feel like for some people they think like you craft it once and so it just carries you. Like you have to recenter, and when so many things are going on, like you have to be able to come back and be like, what am I like? What is the purpose of this? And I think focusing on your story and being able to center in that way is great. And Luis's questions were like, I was like, I've never even thought about, you know, that kind of moment, or like even to journal something. I think to just write it down, like you might have thought about it before, to be in a space with like other people who are also thinking about that. And then to hear other people's stories and be able to relate to them also is such a great thing, to be in a space like that. So I thought it was great.
I appreciated that he challenged us through the questions to come to this from an asset-based perspective, and to start crafting our stories and to start reflecting from those assets. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thank you all for saying that. I think I just echo what y'all said, and I also like the different options, the writing prompts, and how he set up the space to be like optional. He had options, right? So options on the writing prompts, options to share out in whole group, and so there wasn't any like forced feelings or emotion tied to you know, what folks were reflecting on. So thank you all. You know, shout out to the team and all the participants that showed up. I would say a highlight was that a couple people didn't want to leave, and Luis even stayed behind to listen in. So overall, I think it was a success for our first event. I look forward to more.
Yes, we got a lot coming up in the next coming months and for the year, I'm sure. Something else that kind of popped off last week, shout out to Eric Erazo out of Olathe, Kansas Public Schools. He was nominated and won for the Hero for Diversity Award with the NAACP, which is a really big deal. Shout out, Eric. Thank you for everything, your commitment to students and to your district. I love it. Love to see it. All right, we actually have a special series of Ask an Educators happening in February, because on February 23rd, we are going to have an Afro-Latinx educator panel. And so we're going to rewind some of the educators who we featured already and feature them so you can learn their stories. So first and foremost, we have Noemi Cortez, who will be our Ask an Educator Rewind for this Thursday. She will actually be the moderator for the panel on the 23rd, so do not miss on February 3rd her Ask an Educator interview at 4 p.m. And like I just talked about, kind of some things coming up. Our Afro-Latinx Educator panel is happening on February 23rd at 5 p.m. CST. We are gathering some educators who identify as Afro-Latinx or who are Afro-Latinx to talk about the unique experience that it is to be Afro-Latinx in American society, and particularly in schools. So be on the lookout for more details about that. And Delia, I know that you all are gearing up for a book club, right? Or a book study.
Yes, I am so excited about this, Susana. Like, Textured Teaching was a book that was published, I think about 6 months ago, right? I might have tagged you in it, like, yo, next book club.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Lorena Escoto German is a teacher, and she has experience in middle and high school. And her book, Textured Teaching, really offers culturally sustaining practice as a foundation. So she has a framework, and each of the chapters have such an amazing amount of information as far as like what textured teaching looks like. And so information will be posted very soon, so definitely save the date.
We may or may not also be giving out free books for that book club. So you need to be ready.
Make sure you register. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll start.
Okay.
Or you can start.
Well, I know this week for Strength of the Week is Includer. We have 3 left for the relationship domains. All of our strengths are separated in different domains. So we have Includer, which we probably all have known this person, that they seek to have everybody be seen and no one should be ignored. So definition for this is that they show awareness of those who feel left out and make an effort to include everybody in the group. Have you guys met somebody like this? Maybe you're this person.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely like this when I in the past, whenever I planned for big projects or events, I wanted to include folks' perspective or viewpoints, ideas, etc. But are you
Does
asking?
Anybody have it as a top strength?
Yeah.
Lexi, do you have this as a top strength?
No, I don't think so. No. Mm-mm.
I don't either.
Let me look through my handy dandy worksheet here.
No, I don't have it either. But I do appreciate people like this. Because, sometimes I'm a little quiet, reserved. So I appreciate people that make me welcome or come into the group.
Yeah,
I'm actually looking at the team strengths list. So we combined the LEC team, Edgar, the Rev Ed teams, kind of since we do work with each other sometimes. Nobody has Includer as top 5. So
oh dang,
we need an Includer. If you're interested in having your coaching session done and kind of evaluating your strengths, it really is helpful for being able to work as a team and knowing what your team members' strengths are. Go ahead and go to bit.ly/coachlec or scan that QR code. Of course, our virtual care packages are still an option, just showing you Latinx educators, Latinx teachers some love. If you haven't taken advantage of our virtual care packages yet, scan the QR code and we'll send you a little something.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, what value have you lived in the most in the last week? What LEC value?
All of them. I'll go first. I mean, with the
That's the right
first
answer.
workshop. Oh, he said all of them. That's so true. It's tough to just pick one because I think as an organization, we're always looking at personal growth, right? Like, what are some ways that we can learn from this experience? And then shout out to Noemi and our Thursday at Ethos. Like, there's so much growth going on there. And then I think community, just really focusing on tailoring and creating some sustainable and dynamic workshops for our LEC community.
Yesterday, this is not LEC related, but I was working through personal growth because my football team lost and I was really annoyed and upset. But instead of dwelling on it for the rest of the day, like I probably would have in the past, my husband and I drove around and we still had a lot of our beer pack left and passed out beer to people just to celebrate life, and passed out hand and toe warmers to people, houseless people. And so that kind of cheered us up, and it's growth, y'all. Instead of just going home and huffing and puffing on the couch, which I still did do a little bit later, but it was fun. It was like bringing joy to people and just having conversations with people. Personal growth, y'all.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I was just gonna say it probably made you feel good, and you came back home feeling good. But you just say you also were huffing and puffing. But
it's
no,
that counts. There was effort too.
Effort, yes.
I did feel better. And we just got home. We were like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know. Just kidding. Well, LEC community, we hope you have an amazing week. If you're not yet, you should be following us on all social media handles. I think I'm gonna put it as a priority very soon to create this TikTok, because I know Edgar is Edgar, and even I, when I was hesitant at first with personal growth, I'm like, that'd be kind of fun,
Mm-hmm.
And Yvonne has a special treat for us, right, Yvonne?
Oh, my joke. Okay, you know how I like twins. I love twins. And I found out what you call orchids when they are all grown. Do you know what you call them? Orchids. You call them orchidolts.
Orchidolts.
Oh, that's cute.
Thank you. Okay, LEC family.
All right.
And with that,
you can laugh now.
LEC community, know that Yvonne worked really hard on that joke. We wanted to bring you some new content this week, and that I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke you could tell in my old 6th grade classroom, and then the kids would look at me like I was crazy,
Science teachers, now you got a new joke. Mm-hmm. Biology teachers.
Yes.
Anatomy.
Oh,
maybe.
God.
Yeah.
I love it. Have a good
I'm bringing
week,
a
LEC
joke.
community.
I'm bringing teacher jokes next week for sure.
Yeah, you should. I love it. All right, y'all. Have a good week. See everybody soon.
Hey.
Adios.
We're sitting there like in the arena in Las Vegas, like,
when I started this LEC community,